Hello and welcome to another Roaming Norway YouTube video. Today I'm going to tell you a little bit about my life, or at least my work. I'm doing car reviews, so I'm back in the Zeekr 7X. I've just driven 7 hours from Bergen to Oslo. That's a pretty long stretch, I would say, but now it's another 7 hours from Oslo to Stavanger. Stavanger is a southern city in Norway, southwestern city in Norway, where I will meet up with my American friend Chris or Christopher for some videos. But that's not the theme of this video. In this video I'm going to talk a little bit about the upsides and downsides of being a car reviewer. And the downsides is a lot of driving, but it's also an upside because I love driving. But it can be a little bit tedious, at least when I need to do 14 hours in a day like now. But at least I am still able to speak English. You know, my English kinda falls off a cliff once I'm tired, which is very, very interesting. It still works, so I'm still ready to do this video. I need to eat, and I also need to go to the bathroom soon, because I've been on the road for so long. I had my dog in the Tesla, and I left my dog at a place. Oh, there's another Zeekr 7X. I didn't even notice. Wow, another brother in another color. I left my dog Pekko at my parents, or my mom's house, so that he can chill there. He doesn't need to stay with me all the way to Stavanger. He can stay here in Oslo, which is nice for him. So the thing is that when you are loaning cars in Norway, you usually need to go to Oslo to get the press cars, like this one. This is a press car from Zeekr, and I'm so grateful to Zeekr for letting me borrow this car a second time. It's so insanely kind of them. They could have sent this to another press, whatever, but they gave it to me once again so that I can show it to my American friend Chris, that's coming with a cruise ship down in Stavanger. I'm always curious to see if you prefer if I pronounce the cities of Norway in Norwegian or English. Right now I'm doing somewhere in between, and it's kind of awkward, so I think I'll stay with Norwegian pronunciation for now. Anyway, so this is actually halfway through my road trip, but we still will treat this as kind of like a new road trip. But just so you know that I'm a little bit tired, but not super tired. Actually, I'm quite alert, and this car has great driver assistance, and the Tesla does have great driver assistance as well. But in Norway, I think the Zeekr driver assistance works better. So this will be kind of like a video blog or a blog. And I'm curious to see if you like this type of content. If you don't, or if you like it, please leave a comment down below and let me know your thoughts. I would really appreciate that if you let me know your thoughts. So today we are driving down the coast of Norway, but not the beautiful coast. This is the more mundane coast, because we have a highway all the way, which is very rare for Norway. But it's interesting to test the experience and the charging networks down south from Oslo. You can see all the queue into Oslo here. It's now 5 p.m. and it's what day is it? Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that. It's a weekday at least, and then we have a lot of traffic in and out of Oslo, but this is not traffic, this is just some slow drivers. There is a Tesla Model Y Juniper, so popular in Norway right now. So anyways, this will be kind of like a vlog. I will show you the entire driving down from Oslo to Stavanger. I will show you when I charge, when I stop to eat, but at least we started with 96%, and we will go 7 hours of driving, see if we really need to charge that many times. I've reset the trip meter, and we will monitor the efficiency of this car. So join me for this exciting road trip video on the Roaming Norway YouTube channel. I just have to say immediately that it's a world of a difference over driving the Tesla Model Y Performance. Yeah, the Tesla Model Y Performance is very sporty, it's very nice to drive. I love driving the Tesla Model Y Performance. It feels great for an SUV, but this is just a different world, this car. It's so silent. It's just so compliant over bumps. We had a little bit of a rough asphalt in the beginning, and it just felt so different than coming in the Model Y Performance, which I've driven for 7 hours now. I've got a feel for the car, and yes, this one lacks the sportiness, the sporty characteristic of the Tesla Model Y Performance, the accelerator mapping and stuff, but this one is just it's such a better cruiser in terms of comfort. So I think we will have the full back stretch. I like the lumbar relaxation actually. I will have the massaging seat, and we will also have a little bit of ventilation. I think 2 fan blades is very nice, and we will just sit back, relax. LCC is activated, and this is just an awesome cruiser. I love this car as a cruiser, and that's what we are doing today. We are cruising on the highways, which is where the system works best, and also this car definitely works best because of the fast charging. I just charged my Tesla. This video I will stop talking too much about my Tesla because I always do the Tesla comparison, but I think it's important to make that comparison because it's a very popular car, and most likely some of you have experience with Tesla, so that's why I compare. But the charging speed on the LG batteries on the Teslas we get in Europe, they are just horrible, After testing this car, they are horrible. But the Tesla has many great things, and there are things the Tesla does better than this car as well. So it's not just that this car is so much better, it's considerably more expensive as well, which is very interesting. So I will sit back, relax with driver assistant and massaging seats and ventilated seats, and just enjoy this trip down to Stavanger. I need to stop and eat soon, and I will keep you updated with the interesting stuff and keep out the non-interesting stuff. And I won't use music for the clips in between the talking clips, so that you can experience the car the best possible way. I'm not sure if you like that or not, so leave a comment down below. What do you think? Do you want music on the road trip clips, or do you prefer it without? Let me know down below. You might have noticed that I've made more and more videos for Autospec lately, and Autospec is one of the it's the greatest EV channel out there, actually. They have like in-depth on everything that you need to know about the cars, and I really believe in the mission that they have by providing the in-depth and actual good information on electric cars that other outlets don't. And I have started making videos for them, and it has been just an awesome partnership so far. Kyle is awesome. I've been over to the US many times, and I love providing information on European and of course Chinese, because Norway gets the Chinese electric cars first. So it's kind of perfect for me to provide information on both the European cars and the Chinese cars over on Autospec. So if you are interested in watching more of my thoughts and comments, because I don't really adapt to the Autospec style, I've always kind of been in-depth and making videos that are trying to learn the consumer about the cars and what they are actually good at, not just reading off a spec paper. Not to say I'm anything like Kyle. We have different opinions, and Kyle has more in-depth knowledge on most cars, also on a lot of other stuff, which is really impressive. But if you want to see more of my type of videos, you can go over to Autospec and watch those videos if you are interested. I also have videos on this car if you are interested in that. Anyway, that's my side hustle, main hustle kinda. I also do the videos on the Roaming Norway channel and the Effect, the Norwegian channel. So if you are Norwegian and want Norwegian content, which actually seems to be quite popular, surprisingly enough, I was really surprised about how many people wanted to watch Norwegian content, you can head over to Effect. But don't worry, I will keep making videos here on Roaming Norway as long as you are interested in the videos. It will be more about my life and also road trips, which you all seem to be very interested in. Watching the road trips, the real life tests. How is this car really to drive? down south in Norway. How does it work? You can read the specs on the paper. You can see, oh, it's like 14 minutes from 10 to 80. Awesome. But what does that mean in reality? What if the car is super inefficient, etc, etc. There's so many things to figure out about this car still. So thank you for joining me for this road trip, and I hope you are interested to hear a little bit about my work and what I do and what's really going on. LCC in the Zeekr 7X is actually quite nice in Norway, and I would say it works better than autopilot. Here are the preferred driving settings for this car from me, from Roaming Norway certified settings. Acceleration, always maximum. Sport, Norwegian, strong is awesome. Steering mode, comfort, a little bit of a light steering is nice on the highway here at least. Air suspension, height adjustment, standard. It will automatically go into low and very low once you exceed certain speeds. Damping mode, comfort of course. This is a comfort cruiser. So that's my driving settings. We have been cruising down the highway, and now we have a 2-lane road here, so everything is super slow. It's actually 6 p.m. and so many people out right now. That's typical of Norwegian summer. Tons of tourists and also Norwegians going and driving. So we have driven 450 kilometers so far, and we are at 65%. So actually we are following the gasometer pretty accurately, which is interesting. Of course there are slow stretches, there are fast stretches, and I would say that this is extremely representative of Norwegian highway driving, with a little bit of slowdowns. And we are at 230 watt-hour per kilometer, so pretty inefficient I would say, but not the end of the world either. When we did our 10% challenge we had way lower efficiency. And then there are people driving 20 under the speed limit, because there is a camera there that will get you if you are at around 5 kilometers per hour or more above the speed limit. But people slow down to like 20 below the speed limit, which is insane. Okay, now let's get on our way. We are 1 hour and 30 minutes away from Grimstad, where we might be charging because I need some food. We will be at 40%, but it will be interesting to see what kind of charging speed this car can get at 40% as well. And still just a comfort cruiser, just feels amazing and just enjoyable to drive really. We are 205 kilometers into our trip, and we are soon at 50% state of charge. This means that the gasometer was right, because we have used 205 kilometers over 50%. Of course there are more high-speed sections and it can change, but seems like the gasometer was right. 400 kilometers of real-world Norwegian highway range at 100%. That's not too bad actually. That's pretty great. It says 38% at Grimstad, where I wanted to charge. At the same time, I don't really want to have too high state of charge when I arrive. So I think it'll be like a 5-minute stop, and then we will see what kind of state of charge we have at arrival, because tomorrow I'll be doing charging testing on this car, and that's the reason why I don't want to charge too much. At the same time, you really don't want to charge too much on DC fast charging if you can charge at home, which we actually have the ability to do in Stavanger, but we won't use. So this really again proves that this car is just amazing. So tomorrow I'm going to meet Chris, and we are going to drive around. I don't know what we are going to do actually, but yeah, you'll maybe see a video from that, so that you can find out what really happened, maybe over on Autospec Bits. Anyway, this is now my job, just driving around and charging cars and testing how they work, and it feels very strange to say that this is my work, to be completely honest. Having Kyle as a boss, and at least for the Autospec things I do, I also make my own content like Roaming Norway and Effect for Norway, which is interesting. And yeah, it's just been absolutely great. I am doing this under a company which I called JX Media, which is just my last name, and then Media. Actually, just to tell the story, I actually owned my own company for over 10 years now, and it was a company selling mechanical keyboard parts. And I did this when I was a student, then when I was a developer, and until now. I did it for over 10 years, which is interesting. I actually started the business before you can legally start a business in Norway, so I had to go through some loopholes for that, but it's possible if you are interested in starting a business under 18 in Norway. It is actually possible if you are willing to do some stuff. And I started like a limited liability company immediately. Actually, I didn't go through and start sole proprietorship, whatever it's called, when you are your business yourself, when you are responsible yourself. I actually started as an LLC, and I had this business for about 10 plus years, more than 10 years, and it was pretty great. It did pretty well for me, but not like not like I'm rich or anything, but it did okay, and I was able to pay my food that I bought at in the lunch at school, and then later it was able to pay for in addition to the study grant that I had, and then it was possible to pay for my house that I bought with my significant other. And now I decided it is no longer time to work in this business. I actually am closing the business down, and of course there has been crazy stuff happening in e-commerce, but it's not really the reason for ending the business. But I'm proud to say that I can end the business without bankruptcy. It's just I'm ending the business slowly, and I'm providing support to all my customers for years to come, and I'm very happy to say that I was able to get the cash that I did out of the business, and actually had really fun doing the business. I love doing business. So now it's the next phase of my life, and I started a new company actually a little while ago, but it's starting now for real. It's the JX Media company, which is my media company. And why do I have a company? Well, that's because it is a business to do media stuff. It's a business to do YouTube, it's a business to do short form, and it's a business to sell my services to the United States. So it's a business. It sounds maybe like it's a super serious thing, but in Norway it's so easy to start businesses and actually do the businesses that it's not as serious as you might think, the LLC stuff. I just wanted to tell you what I'm doing and what's going on, and that's what's going on. I now have a JX Media company that's doing car reviews, car testing and stuff, both for Autospec and for myself, and I'm really interested in updating you on this journey of doing a business, because this is kind of like a new business. So I can talk a little bit about that. And if you're not interested in hearing about business stuff related to electric cars, of course, which is this channel's content, just let me know in a comment for sure. Anyway, it's like my next phase of my life, so I'm very curious to test this out. I know it's incredibly difficult to make money on YouTube. You have to have sponsors, you have to have everything. I'm completely, I do know about the difficulties of running a YouTube business, and I'm not here to make a ton of money. I'm here to make a living for myself and pay my house mortgage. And aside from that, I'm really, really happy. I love doing this stuff. So thank you so much for watching Roaming Norway, and thank you for all the Norwegians or people learning Norwegian watching Effect. And thank you so much for checking out Autospec, where I will be doing instrument testing and testing in general, charging testing, new cars, everything over on Autospec. And I think these 3 channels together can be a real full-time job for me, and I hope it will do really, really well. So let me know if you have any comments or thoughts or anything about this kind of series where I keep you updated on my life. If it's not interesting, also leave a comment so that I know, then I will just continue with the road trips and stuff. And there will always be an electric car road trip in these videos or similar, so that you can get something else to look at. Anyway, we are doing pretty well. I'm very happy with the range of this car as well in Norway. Of course, now it's super slow, but we can activate the driver assistant, sit back, I have my massaging seat on, and it just feels amazing. Okay, we are at 39%, so let's plug in this thing. First, I want to mention that I did have some unhealthy Coke, and I did have a meal from the China restaurant there. Very mediocre, I would say. But let's just first, let's see. Only 200 kilowatts. Interesting. Oh, this warning is super annoying with the phone in the car. So yeah, I don't know what's happening. I think maybe it thinks that maybe some of the other power modules are active, because the car is gone here. There is no car here, which is interesting. Maybe we want to try the 350 there. Or maybe they are 4-split. Maybe these Ionity units are actually 4-split, which would be interesting. What's very interesting now is that we don't know how much we need to go further. So let's see here. Let's learn the navigation here. We want to go to Sola, which is the airport. We are not flying, but we are going in that area. It says we won't make it. Zeekr, if you're watching, I want to know how much I need to charge to make it without a charging stop. So you should show -% or something here. I'm using the old route planner now because I found it worked better in Norway, which is interesting. We will see once the route planner updates. Maybe it gets better with time. Interesting. But why not, instead of going here and charging, why not tell me, the car knows I'm plugged into a charger, just tell me that I need to stay here for 10 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever, or 20 minutes. That's insane. We don't need that. Something very funny about this car is that I went into the China restaurant and I sat down and ate food there without charging, because it's charging so fast and I wanted to see how fast it charged. But at 200 kilowatts I could have charged here instead, and then yeah, well, I thought we would get 400 kilowatts, and if we got 400 kilowatts I couldn't stay inside there. We would have way too much state of charge for tomorrow when I'm testing this car. The BMW beside me here came at the same time as me, but I went in to eat for 15 minutes, so he has been here 15 minutes plus my charging time, and we will probably leave at the same time, which is interesting. Or I might leave before him, because I don't know what he is doing, charging to 100% something. That was 9 minutes and 51 seconds. We charged from 39 to whatever we have now, 69. So 39 to 69 in 9 minutes and 51 seconds. And that would have been something I could do, for example, while eating at the China restaurant over there. But yeah. Anyways, super happy with the charging performance, even on this 4-split 200 kilowatt unit. Okay, so 22% at our destination by charging for 9 minutes and 50 seconds. That's absolutely insane, and that was a slow charger for this car. What I want to do when I get here to this Ionity station, where I will be doing charging testing tomorrow, I will test to see if the 400 kilowatt Alpitronic units are 4-split or not. If they are 4-split, that would absolutely suck, because then we can't do the charge testing there. Then we have to use the ABB units from Ionity, but the ABB units do have surging problems with this car in some rare cases. So then we might need to go to, I don't know, an Circle K station with 400 kilowatt chargers, maybe? I don't know, I need to figure something out. But let's hope the Ionity station here is a good one and has no force splitting. So the 400 kilowatt units can give 400 kilowatts. It says that it can do it here. Or you can see it now, but when you click on the chargers in this car, it will tell the speed and if they are occupied or not. So let's hope. It's time to check in on our trip, I think. 350 kilometers so far in 3 hours and 43 minutes. We are into a slow stretch again. I'm still using the driver assistant feature because I want to test if it works on B roads. This is not a B road, but it's a road with 2 lanes, so it's very interesting because when you are on Tesla Autopilot and you get large trucks in the opposite direction, it will phantom brake. This one doesn't, which is awesome, but I need to check that it does the curves as good as Autopilot. So this driver assistance system works perfectly in Europe. It reads all the map data. Driver assistance system in the Zeekr 7X is actually pretty great. So I can choose the speed limit I want, not getting bad map data to choose the speed limit for me, like Tesla Autopilot will find some strange speed limits. 50 kilometers per hour in an 80 zone, it will do a hard brake, and yeah, you're stuck there. You can't go further up. You can't override the speed limits in a Tesla in Europe on Autopilot. That sucks. In this one, the Zeekr doesn't care at all. Some other benefits that the Zeekr driver assistance system has is that when large vehicles are approaching in the opposite direction, by the way, I'm not applying steering input at all, I'm just having my hand on the steering wheel as a sensor. When large vehicles approach in the opposite direction, the Tesla Autopilot will phantom brake because it thinks that the cars will crash into you because of the narrow lanes in Norway. That doesn't happen with the Zeekr system, and it's awesome. I don't need to hover the accelerator when driving with this system. The only thing I need to do is once in a while have my hand on the steering wheel to let the system know that I'm paying attention. Also, when the lane markings on the right are removed, oh, beautiful skies here. When the lane markings on the right are gone, which they often are in Norway, if you have seen Norwegian on-ramps, the lane marking disappears on the on-ramp because you have like a mutual yielding when you enter a highway in Norway. Anyways, the Tesla Autopilot will swerve out of the lane and all the way out. This system doesn't do that. It hugs the middle lane. It's awesome. I love this system, and I did spend 4,000 kilometers in this car, but that was on highways, and that's easy. Any system can do highways, but this is a B road with traffic in the opposite direction. 90% of the roads or more in Norway are like this, and it's important to me personally that the driver assistance system works on roads like this. So it's absolutely amazing to see the work Zeekr has put in on their driver assistance system. It's not perfect. It has some kind of tuning issues somewhere when you enter the driver system program and disable it on the highway. It's a little bit jerky, whatever, but in general it works perfectly fine. And here you can see other wider cars coming in the opposite direction. No phantom braking, takes the curves very smoothly, and the steering wheel is so smooth, it doesn't jerk. And even inside tunnel, limited visibility. We had the sun coming at us at like super low sun, so it was almost invisible. It was almost impossible to see out. I needed my sunglasses and the sun visor and everything. The driver assistance system worked perfectly fine, no issues whatsoever. So I'm super impressed with the Zeekr system on the Norwegian B roads. And yeah, I'm just impressed. I didn't expect it to work at all. We are here at the Ionity charger. Let's see what we get here. So I'm going to explain to you how it works here. So first of all, okay, so we are getting 300 kilowatts. Let's see here. 300. That's a little bit strange, I would say, but pretty nice. This one said it was a 400 kilowatt station charger. So let's see if it seems kind of locked to 300 kilowatts. That's kind of strange. Let's move to the 350 over there to check if that one works better. Will we get the ABB surge? These are ABB units, and that's not good news for us because we have had surging issues on the ABB units. But I want to test it regardless because I really want to achieve the maximum charging speed. It's very difficult, it seems. So this one was exactly 300 kilowatts. That one is configured for 400 kilowatt according to the app, but we didn't get that. So let's see what happens here on the 350. So we are ramping up very slowly, slower than the Alpitronic units. Doesn't really matter, but let's see here. This one is very slow to update, so it's actually better to jump in the car and see. I don't know why I went out here, but let's see what we get here. Okay, so this one gives us max. So it's something with the configuration of the Ionity Alpitronic units here, I think. So this one is supposed to be 400. All of these are apparently 4-split 200 kilowatt according to the app. So I want to go and maybe I should try one of the 4-split ones. Anyways, we are getting 330 kilowatts here. Can't ask for more, really. Actually, I'm interested to see. Okay, so it's 464 amps at 700 volts. Insane charging speed. Nice. Okay, I'll stop charging here. Then I'll go down and try the 4-split Alpitronic unit. Okay, 4-split Alpitronic. So this one, 4-split, is basically 200 kilowatts, 200 kilowatts, and it says 200 kilowatts in the app actually as well. Usually these say 400 kilowatts in the app, and then they say 4-split here, but they are not really 4-split. This one is 4-split, it seems. So we get only 200 kilowatts here. So let's stop charging, I think. Charging power 194 kilowatts. Stop charging. So our best bet for fast charging on this site is most likely the ABB units due to stupid configuration stuff with the Alpitronics. But we have time, so let's try the other plug on the supposed 400 kilowatt unit over there. Okay, final test. So quick to activate these Alpitronics, amazing. So this is a 400 kilowatt in the app. This one is 200, 200, this one is 200, 200, 200, 200, and the rest are 350. So let's see what's going on here. 300 kilowatts as well on this one. So 425 amps. It requests 425 amps. So 460 amps. And then some amp that makes it 200 kilowatts on these ones, and then something else on this one. Okay, great. Then we know what kind of charging speed we can expect at all the different chargers. Circle K charger tomorrow. We will see. We will just travel around and see what's available. But it's cool to see that this site is available and we can get fast charging here. And now, by just testing and plugging and unplugging stuff, we went from 17% up to 32%, which is insane. But now I'm going to sleep, and tomorrow we will just explore a little bit more. Okay, let's just try this one actually. The problem now is that we have too high state of charge to actually reach 400 kilowatts. So I have no idea if this... Okay, so we get more than 300 kilowatts on this one. So maybe this is the strategy to reach not 400 kilowatts, but close to it, actually, with these chargers. They have the Amphenol cables, which are not good enough, I think. Here we have one with Phoenix cables. So... What? And this is the Amphenol cable. This is such a jungle. Current voltage, okay, but we are getting over 300 kilowatts, fine. Okay, let's just try the Phoenix contactor Alpitronic Hyper 400 there. It sounds so good, the contactors in the Alpitronic. Let's see here. We won't get 400 kilowatts now anyways, but we can kind of gauge, I don't know, what we could have gotten, I guess. So let's see, 370. Okay, so these are the ones to go for. The ones with the Phoenix contactor. Let's stop this immediately. Okay, we found the charger. Okay, so this one and this one has the Amphenol cables. Amphenol, but 400, 300 with Amphenol, 400 with Amphenol. This is the one. Okay, now we know. These are the best cables ever. 375 amps. What? I don't understand the amperage rating. Why are 375 amp cables faster than these ones? Oh, these are just 300 amps. Okay, that makes sense. But they can always boost to more. Nice. That's a nice charging curve. Thank you so much for watching another Roaming Norway YouTube video where I talked a little bit about my life really, and work, and doing some charging stuff with the Zeekr. More content on the Zeekr is coming, so stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching Roaming Norway, and please subscribe if you're interested in more videos. Don't subscribe if you aren't interested in more videos. Maybe there is a window washer thing over here. Do you think so? Nope, it's an unmanned gas station. So the gas station is here, and then you have the chargers over here. Wow.